Good evening, buonasera. My name is Gian Paolo Bassi, obviously Italian, and I'm here to represent SolidWorks and to talk about a very interesting topic. It's called the Industrial Renaissance. And the question is, why are we talking about Industrial Renaissance, and what is the connection with the theme, which is Industry for Life? The expression is very simple. Industrial Renaissance, first of all, because we are in Milano, Italy, and Italy is a place, Milano in particular, that has seen the consequences and the effects of the past industrial revolutions. As you know, Milano is a very industrialized area. And also Italy has seen the effects and the consequences of the Renaissance, a different type of revolution, the type of revolution that we like to identify better. Why so? Because it's a gentle type of revolution, first of all, and is a revolution that was characterized by the expansion of knowledge. As you know, during the Renaissance in the 14th century, the printing press was invented, and was probably the most significant invention of the past millennium, because it really made the knowledge available to a lot of people. This is what is inspiring us. We believe that the future, we believe that the renaissance of the industry, many people call it Industry 4.0 or next industrial revolution. We like it to characterize it better as a renaissance. But we believe that the theme for us, for sure, is expansion of knowledge. And to do that, we have a special device called the 3D Experience Platform, where both integration and automation are the technologies that will advance the human knowledge. Again, the other reason why Renaissance is so important for us is because for the first time in history, humans were at the center of the action. You see it in the art. The type of human figures that showed up during the Renaissance were definitely more humans, more inspired by human-like type of passion and feelings rather than different, for instance, more connected to the divinity or things like this. So we have this platform, and we have explained how come that it is so important for us and why it is going to inspire an industrial renaissance. So this platform is at the same time an operating system. So it's giving us the devices to expand knowledge. Knowledge is very, very important to inspire people to become more innovative. And this is the connection with the theme, which is designed for life. We want to empower people. We talk about automation, and I will go back to this concept later. But fundamentally, automation is not to eliminate humans from the equation. It's actually to empower them more. The platform, in addition to giving us the devices, is also inspiring new business models across the entire value creation framework. So starting from upstream thinking, the time where you innovate, when you start imagining things. And this is where humans are most important. All the way to making products, introducing them in the world, and owning them. And this is where the connection of design for life is extremely important, because when we introduce products in the world, in nature, we need to be aware of the consequences for the entire life cycle of the product. We need to take responsibility. The manufacturers, the innovators, and we as the empowerers of these creators need to take responsibility for what happens when we introduce an innovation in the marketplace. And the 3D experience is inspiring our product strategy, which is fundamentally based on two pillars, which is our desktop generation, which is what we have been doing for 20 years and most of our customers are using today, and is a very established type of platform and technology, the desktop, the personal computer, that was part of a revolution itself. And then the upcoming 3D experience, and then we want to connect the two very powerfully with what we call the Power by strategy. So, inspired by this vision, we have created a very powerful portfolio in the last years, and it is accelerating. The breadth and the depth of the portfolio is accelerating. I want to remind you, however, that we were the first in the industry to introduce tools to evaluate the environmental impact of what we create or what we design. Again, design for life. How fitting it is for a designer to be mindful of, for instance, the amount of energy that is going to be necessary to manufacture his product, or the amount of pollution that a given material choice is going to cause. Well, we put, 10 years ago, we were first in the industry to have a sustainability module in our suite of products that would put in the hands of the designer a cockpit with gauges that would tell the story of the product beyond the beauty and the form of fit. So design for sustainability, something that is very close to our thinking. And recently, we have embraced the innovation wave created by the platform, adding very significant products. This one is PLM services. Basically, it's the power of the platform to connect everybody. Collaboration is extremely important if you want to design for life, because you need to have an impact on the community, and the communities need to have an impact on you. The platform is designed to have this type of openness and inclusion. And we have introduced a marketplace. We were talking about the platform as an enabler of new business models. Today in the platform there is a marketplace, a place where people can go to manufacture almost anything, and you have a guaranteed price, bid, and time to market. This is really a big innovation, but it is not limited to manufacturing. It's also extended to, for instance, third-party product procurement. So you can find on the platform about 30 million of industry offer that can be immediately downloaded into your design, into your innovation. So the idea is, again, to make it possible for you to innovate very conveniently in the same environment. This is one of the fundamental values of the platform. We have introduced a complete set of design tools that are native on this platform. And last but not least, we introduced this year a product called X-Design that is being demoed and hands-on tested as we speak. There was a hackathon based on this product, and tomorrow there will be a prize, and we will talk about what was done with this thing. So what is the innovation of X-Design? Why I'm talking about X-Design? Because there are two fundamental innovations here that are going to change the way we design things, I believe, forever. First of all, this product doesn't require any installation. It works like Facebook. You don't install anything, right? Or Google Mail, Gmail. It runs in a browser, in any browser, on any machine, anytime, anywhere. You just need a connection and you are immediately in business. But at the same time, it's fully compatible with the entire data model that we are putting on the 3D Experience platform. All the beautiful things that we have seen this week, the incredible buildings conceived by Kengo Kuma, Dan Rosengard, and all those amazing innovators, all that power is available through a simple browser. We believe that this is very powerful, and it's going to democratize the power of design for more and more people, which is part of our charter, by the way. It's part of our dream. And the other important thing of this product is that it's changing the process of designing. Here you see the X-Design that is recommending geometry for you. So the computer is giving you answers to very well formulated problems. Again, the human creativity and imagination is about being the director of innovation, not being a cut and paste geometrical tool handler. We want to go away from that. We wanted to free the human creativity by the constraints of geometry. So we want to use computers for that. Computers right now, if we ask powerful questions, they can give us very profound and articulated answers. But this is all they do. And somebody very famous said that, and I will go back at the end of my presentation. And I want to show you some of the things that our customers are doing empowered with these tools for many, many times. So this is a medical device company. Everything that you see here has been designed with our tools, with our platform. And this is happening more and more, the prosthetics innovation in prosthetic design. That is one of our startups. This is a company called SG Robotics that is basically putting people back on their own legs. And this is another company called Myomo that is basically a prosthetic able to give strength again to limbs of people that for some reason have lost this capability. This is another example of design for life. In fact, the name of this company is Design That Matters. The simple object is a tool, is a lamp, is a tool to deliver blue light to kids newborn that are affected by jaundice. Jaundice could be lethal in developing countries that don't have a tool as simple as this one. So the mission of Design That Matters was to create a tool that was easy to use, cheap, all created with recycled material, and in order to eradicate the danger of jaundice in developing countries. Mission accomplished. Congratulations to these guys. And remaining on the theme of design for life isn't housing a crisis that we see all over the world. So more than half of the world population is now living in big cities. Living space, shelter is scarcely available. Today, people don't have access to basic needs like shelter and food. These guys are focusing on solving the problem of shelter, of giving shelter to everybody in an amazing way with modular prefabricated constructions that are much cheaper than traditional construction and are also very energy efficient and, by the way, very beautiful. This is not about affordable housing. For me, it's more about smart housing. It is very inspiring. This company is called Blockable. Is a startup, again. They are located between Seattle and Canada, and I believe that they are going to make a revolution in this field. And look at these guys, another startup associated with us, and they are able to innovate something as old as agriculture itself. Speaking of design for life, these guys are able to fabricate an hydroponic farm, mini farm, inside a discontinued freight container. And the yield of this farm is equivalent to 2 acres of terrain. So you can have the same amount of produce created in an environment that is not necessarily friendly, because you just connect water and electricity, and then you can control your farm with your iPhone. These things are showing up all over the world and are going to make a big difference and are going to bring food production very close to food consumption, which is a global trend. We heard remarkable speakers this morning bringing up this type of ideas. The fact that manufacturing with globalization right now is very much localized. Our fault, localized in big enclaves, like China, for instance, okay? So this trend is changing right now. More and more communities are more and more interested in producing locally what they consume. It's called the concept of circular economy, and we will talk about that later. This is another Timeware is another company of ours, and that's another aspect of improving lives. These guys create smart wearables, smart clothes that are able to sense your strength, your health, and basically make your health, improve your health, and monitor your physical performance in many aspects. So, empowered by this vision for many, many years and by this technology roadmap that I have very quickly illustrated, we have built a community that is quite remarkable. So we believe that today more than 5 million people all over the world every day are empowered by our technologies. We are in 33,000 academic institutions. This is a testament of our dedication to education. Education is extremely important. Educating the future designers, the future engineers to a modern way of producing things is extremely critical, as you can understand. And we are in 82% of the top educational institutions in the world. Not only that, we want to inspire kids to be part of what is called STEM in the US, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And to do that, we have put on the market a tool called Apps for Kids, which is what it says, is a powerful design tool for kids. Kids can design everything that they want and make them because we have a connection on the cloud with 3D printing machines. It's truly amazing, and it is being demoed as I speak in those rooms upstairs. If you have a chance to go there, do it, because it's really a remarkable tool. And if you have kids, I bet they will have a lot of fun. These are numbers that we are very proud of, but there are new numbers coming into our statistics. And it's the numbers of the new world. A new world where we see more and more people interested in being a more active part of the economy. They want to create companies. They don't want to work for a large company. When I graduated from the University of Bologna, the dream of many of us was to go work for a big company and perhaps was there forever. Now, a kid that gets graduated in Bologna or Milan or MIT, the dream is to create their own startup. And I think this is a very positive dream. And those dreams are fueled in new institutions, in new ways of aggregating these young innovators. For instance, Fab Labs. Fab Labs is a spin-off of the MIT, and we are very proud sponsor of the Fab Lab Foundation. In fact, there are in the world today 500 Fab Labs that use our technologies to inspire people. It's a place where you go to learn, where you go to teach, and where you also go to have fun around the theme of fabricating what you imagine. In fact, I would like to talk about the Fab Lab in Bhutan that we started last year. You know that in Bhutan there is a minister for gross domestic happiness. So those guys don't measure gross domestic product. They don't believe this is the key to happiness. They believe that the key to happiness is to enable a local economy. This is why we were so proud to be there and start a Fab Lab, which is the beginning of that. Fab Lab is able to fabricate a lot locally, but a lot of goods are coming from neighboring countries. They want to stop it. They really want to empower everybody to build everything that they need locally. A couple of years back, we did the same thing in a country called Rwanda. Fab Lab was such an aggregation of imagination there that even dignitaries from all over the world came to see why a Fab Lab was able to capture the imagination of an entire population in Kigali, the capital of Rwanda, a country that was so troubled in the recent past, but was able to build a vision on the future based on design for life. This is what is inspiring these guys. And it's really amazing. And there was a World Economic Forum for Africa where we were there, and this is Tony Blair, I think. They came to visit this phenomenon. It's amazing. A lot of people were in line to see how powerful it is to empower people to create what they imagine. And of course, we have kids, and notice that girl. She's not using the mouse. The mouse is sitting there. Nobody cares about the mouse. The kids today try to pinch the screen. That's how they interact. And the reason why we like to work with the kids is because their imagination is very wide, is limitless. They think out of the box, literally, and they challenge us. For them, there is no limits to what imagination can do. Why not, they always ask. And we like that type of challenges. We are very active in the world of startups. As I said, a lot of people are interested in creating their own companies. And there is a new phenomenon called incubators that facilitate this way of thinking, which is a very, very positive way of thinking. It's a way to turn around society, inner city, all over the world. Everybody is understanding that. The politicians understand that. Today, we are present in more than 140 incubators all over the world, and we have a special program for startups. If you are a startup, and if you want to have access to our entire portfolio of technology, you can do it for free. This is what we do for our communities. That is what is for us Design for Life. But let's face the truth. After so many years of dedicating ourselves to empowering people to imagine and create products the way they are in 3D, still billions of people express themselves today with pictures. This is the way people express themselves. They have, and they are facilitated by tools like Instagram or by the fact that there is a camera in every portable device, in every telephone. Okay? So we have a dream. If we wanted to design for life, we need to put life into design. So we are conceiving this idea of design for everybody. It's a dream of ours. So how if we can create a community where that today express itself through pictures? How if we are able to empower this community to express themselves about what they want and what they desire, what can improve their lives in the real natural way of doing things, which is 3D. So this is another dream of ours, and you will hear more about this, and you will see actually a very good example of a realization of this dream tomorrow. Tomorrow will be dedicated to 3D for all, Home by Me. You will see what my friend Vincent has been able to do so far. Please come to the keynote tomorrow. It's going to be very, very interesting. And everybody is talking about Picasso, I noticed today. Picasso and Einstein has been the most mentioned luminaries during the sessions today. And I want to bring here my own quote. So this is one of the famous sketches by Picasso. And Picasso said something very profound. He said, you know what? He said this in the 40s, I think. It was a little bit long ago. But he said something that is still very actual, very modern, I think. He said, you know, computers are useless. Computers are useless because they only give you answers. And we may think, well, giving you answers is a big task. Isn't it everything? No, actually it is not. Because if you don't ask the right questions, you will never get the right answers. And the difficult part, the creativity, is about asking the right questions. That is where the human imagination has its strength, its power. And this is something that no artificial intelligence can replace. Artificial imagination is very, very far away. And this was very well said in a panel earlier on today. And I truly believe in this way. And by the way, speaking of automation, this is a result of a study done by the McKinsey Institute. And they found out that in North America, only 4% of the activities really require the most important part of the human brain, which is emotional intelligence and creativity. So we want really that number to become 10 times bigger. And the way to do it is automation. So automation is not a way to displace humans, but is a way to empower humans. And this is how we want to do it. We want to have design for everybody, for the professionals, and for everybody else. So thank you very much. This is my last slide. And I would like to go to the next session. And I have the honor here to introduce a very famous architect, Patrick Jouin. A very short introduction, because otherwise I would have to talk for hours. You know, Patrick Jouin has worked for super brands like Cassina, Cartel, Alessi, because we are in Italy. I want to mention that his work is on permanent exhibits in no less than MoMA. Can you imagine, in 2004, he was 3D printing furniture, the first in history to do that, and the exhibit is still there to show the power of imagination to all the visitors of the MoMA Museum. So please, an applause to introduce Patrick Jouin, that is coming next on stage. Thank you very much.
Merci. Voilà, next. Thank you so much. Huh? Yeah, it's true, in 2004 we print the first chair, monolithic chair, and it was an adventure, and we did it with SolidWorks. Okay. So I will talk today about consuming in a sustainable world, and I'm starting with a slide of an abbaye. It's an old abbaye in France called Abbaye de Fontevraud. It was built in the 12th century. And so what we do architecture, interior architecture, and product design. And it's the energy which is consumed in the world, 50%. I'm not sure about my numbers, but I think it's about this. 50% is used to cool or to heat buildings. So we have to be very efficient, very clever with this energy, how we make things. Also, we can ask ourselves, is it good to keep a building or to smash it, to destroy it? We'll make it maybe more efficient, but also we have culture. We have something which is already built. So this abbaye was first a huge abbaye on the Loire Valley, and one day it became an hospital, and after it became a prison, and now it's a culture center and an hotel. So as an architect now, when you think about sustainability, you have to imagine that what you have designed, the building you have designed will stay for a long, long time. So you have to imagine not something you will smash very quickly. We are so used to do so every 5 years a new restaurant. That's also what I do. But no, we have to, when we design a building, maybe it will be something else. So we have to be open to this idea. So here we are it was a chapel. It has the strength of a chapel, and I transform it into a bar. So it has the energy of the chapel, but when you speak, it has echo. The walls are made of stone, and in winter they are like sponge. It's very cold with the stone. So what we did, we put this big piece of fabric, and they will capture the sound, break the echo, and we redo the floor. We have the heating coming from there, but also on the table. On the table, we have a heating system very close to you, like a long time ago, or also now, when you walk with a little piece of something which is very hot under your clothes. And also, on the side, we put blankets. So you will never be cold. And in the middle, I put a big piece of wood, simple material, raw, oak, maybe material which were there with the monk. They use this material. And me, I want to work with craftsmen who are living 50 kilometers around the abbey. I don't want to go too far. So I will have to knock on doors and to see incredible craftsmen who will help me to do the project. So we transform it totally. Here, before it was where the monk will speak. So we keep the spirit of the space, and you can speak, you can be all together in a new way. So I didn't change the place, just a little bit. Before, people were just speaking together. It was the only place where the monk were able to speak, because the other time they had to be silent. Here it's the big réfectoire where they were all eating together. And we use another way, our monk technology, try to be just common sense, easy. It's a réfectoire. So what do you do with the chair? I'm afraid all the time I have designed so many restaurants, the chairs are destroyed when you move them. So I use the chair as a decoration. I took them, it's a foldable chair in oak, and I put it on the side with the table. We can fold them, and they become a part of the space. This big panel, because of course I didn't have the right to do a hole. Just in between stones, where you have the cement, it's the only place I am allowed to do something. This place was built in the 12th century. It's a jewel. I don't have the right to make a hole. Only the floor I was able to touch. So here we have this big panel, and they become our soundproofing system. But they speak with the space, and we use linen. Linen also the reference with a simple raw material. It's a restaurant. It's an hotel. We need to eat. And at the beginning, we thought we will buy something. We will buy plates. And on my way to the abbey, I saw a little sign, of people make a potter. So just knock on his door. It was just 13 kilometers from the abbey, and we went to see him with the chef. and we explained what we will eat in the restaurant, how, and we made everything. So it's giving him not a work for the whole year, but of course the plates will be broken during the year. So when he has not too much work, he will start to make his production, cook it, the color, and when you are using this, you are using also what the monk or the prisoner were using. But it's a good way to touch something which is right, not coming from far away. And you can go to visit the potter, and he will show, and he's a master with color. So now the way to do things has changed. 10 years ago, as an interior architect, I had to be careful with to be green. But it was not in my guts, because all my practice was totally different. I learned it while I was doing it, and I think we all learn it. And now it's something which is becoming, it helps our creativity. It changes our mind. We are doing, I will maybe not have come to see this man before. I will have designed it and send it to different people, and he will have make it. But no, I know him. He knows very well the space. We reconnect. This abbey was before so strong, and everybody was living around it. It was broken, and now we are making this connection. The soap is coming from a factory not very far away. The beds, all the linen, the fabric is coming from a factory who are all around. So it was research, but also to make this project, I think it has a thickness. And you can go in the garden and cut a little bit of some thym, and you can put it in your food. It depends on what is produced during the year in the middle. And here, with your lover, you can just watch this little beautiful garden. It was before the space of prayer, where people were the cloister, where people were just going around. So I kept this energy also of just to look at something and also to dream. So it's a place to be together, but also to dream and to think, not as a Christian, but just as a human being. And you can see again this idea of the raw wood, something which will crack and something which will take the time. And the time will pass on it like the stone. The bedroom, I am a big fan of the shaker. The shaker, they invent design in the 18th century. They were also very practical. So here on the hook, I can have the light, I can put my jacket, and I hide the television. The television, if I want my 4 stars as an hotel, I need to have it. It's stupid, huh? Because in this hotel, I don't need a television. And now we have little tablets, and we really don't need the television. But if I want my 4 stars, so I transform the television in a piece of art. So through the little holes, the TV can play and will create something, an infinite art piece. Again, simple tricks. Just a rubber belt to keep I have to go faster. The rubber belt to keep okay, I go faster. Another one. So it's true. We are in France. We have the chance, like in Italy, to have beautiful buildings. Before, this one was for horses, and we made a restaurant of it. Just first sketch. So at the beginning, we don't use the 3Ds so much. It's more the pencil, super efficient. Watercolor. It is a watercolor from Sanjit, my partner. So they were horses. And we visit the space. And we see this. It's one of the largest timber structure in Strasbourg. It's beautiful, from the 17th century. And we saw that and say, it's where people should eat. It's marvelous. Before, we were here at this level, but now we have to go up. It's too beautiful to see all this wood. But it's complex. We made a big hall, and we make a stairs which will work like a tornado. So when you arrive, because I don't want you to use the elevator. I really want you to walk 6 meters. So I need to attract, so I need to mesmerize you to go up. But again, we use what we had, okay, as the maximum of the material we had. And at the end, we have this, like the horse. The horse is going in circle. His hairs are floating, but also we have ruins. Everything falls down and it's broken, and you can see the ceiling. Again, big discussion with how to transform something which, if you don't do anything, it will become a ruin in 100 years, 200 years. It will just collapse. There are so many castles, beautiful things in France. We don't have the money to restore them. The same in Italy. It's a big problem. So we need to do something different with them. This is the leather. Leather. Okay, this is the opposite of stone. Huh? Okay, we use the flesh, the skin of cow. This is the Hermes leather. Okay, it's coming from Aas. Aas is a company who produced the leather for them. But they will only use the first, second choices. The third, the fourth, the fifth, they will throw it away. When they receive all the skin, they don't know if there is a little scratch, if a bee bites the cow a long time ago, if the cow had a scratch, we don't know. It's only when it's finished that you can see, oh, there is a little scratch. Sorry, I will not take it. Is it clever? I don't know. We used it. They gave it to us because they don't know what to do with it. And I don't see the scratch. Okay, other pictures. I will go a little bit further. The bedrooms, also we used the timber. It's so beautiful. So we also do products. This is what I designed this year for Zanota. And also now when we design products, we have to be very careful. We have to think about the future. Like the building before, we have to think that they will be used for something else, for another use. This one, it's a chair for one moment. But one day it will be something else. It's aluminum and plastic. Okay, so the aluminum, easy to recycle. It's the structure, and we can do something different. The plastic is recycled plastic. So the plastic, I have a very weird relation with it, because it's first it's invented by human, the material. It's 200 millions of years of energy of the sun attracted by leaves and trees and grass for 200 millions of years under the earth, under salt, under seawater, and it became petrol. And we are using it and burning it. So, and it's so abundant that we think it costs nothing. But no, it's 200 millions of years of sun energy. So it's very precious. We have to be very careful with what we do. So maybe when we design things, we have to be careful. But also, it has to be easy to disassemble, easy to redo something with it. So it's the beginning of this, maybe this understanding of plastic, or invention, or monster. The chair, easy to grasp. Zanota, it's modernity and fun. All together, joyful. So it was this idea, humor in the design. And this other one for FIAM, and it's the idea of wood. So wood is the plastic of the future. For many years, when I start my practice as a designer, I knew plastic, I knew metal, I knew nothing about wood. Wood was like maybe plywood, yes, MDF. Oh, yes, it was so beautiful, MDF, we can do so many things. No, now we understood that wood is taking this energy from the sun forever. With our technology, with our understanding of what's wood, we will use it. It will be in rockets. We will use it, we will transform it, and it's the material of the future. It's our best material with what we have already, but this one can give us many, many more possibilities. So with technology, creativity, wood is the plastic of the future.
Thank you, Patrick. Please give a great round of applause. But give me a second. I was listening to your lecture and a few things came into my mind. The first one is definitely, whatever it takes to put the objective of sustainable when we are talking about the designers, when he's thinking, it's redundant. So you are just clearly the, I will say, the manifestation of sustainable thinking when you just design. This is really important. The second thing is, I wanted just to say two things. You are someone incredibly talented. We first met, you remember, we worked together on interior for a Renault around 95 with Patrick Le Charpie. And such a wonderful, wonderful careers of yours. I mean, this is just an amazing designer. And he's so modest, because you can see in his design how delicate, the subtleties in the choices of the material and the consistency with the overall interiors is absolutely outstanding. But something very important is chair. This famous chair designed in SolidWorks in 2004 has been standing at the MoMA in New York, is one of the most important iconic chairs on Earth. And it's also in the Museum of Vitra in 2018, so congratulations, please. This is important.
Thank you.
Because Patrick will have never tell you that. He's too modest for that. So thank you for being here. Thank you. This concludes this keynote, and enjoy some drinks. Thank you very much.